Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Liv's Thoughts. Look at my nails, check them out. I love them. They're my favorite set I think I might have ever have gotten, except for one other set. So top 5 for sure. But today I want to talk about facts don't care about your feelings. Rebrand or rebranding anti-intellectualism. Because anti-intellectualism has rebranded itself into, I did my own research with no cited sources literally whatsoever. Just a person saying they did their own research because of a conspiracy theory or a opinion. And here's the thing. I love a conspiracy theory. Like, I am for conspiracy theories. I think that they really make people be a little bit more creative with their thinking. And also, I think it's good to be skeptical of shit. Like, I think that being skeptical of stuff is important, is healthy, is normal. But completely disregarding fact evidence because you don't want to believe it is problematic. And now I want to talk about what we can do on an individual level in our day-to-day lives to help combat intellectualism, because I know it's not our job. It's not our issue. It's not our job. We can choose to be bystanders and watch it happen. Or we can take a bit of action every single day. We can work towards small change to help create bigger change. I think of this similarly to like the climate crisis. Companies and the system needs to be fixed. That shit needs to be changed in order for real change to happen. But small individual changes, like if we all were to hypothetically drive electric cars or take public transportation instead of all having gas cars, that would have a genuine beneficial impact to the environment. So if everyone switched out for an electric vehicle, a bike, public transportation, if they're able to do so, little things like that, again, just example, add up to big change over time. Like, little change adds up to a lot over time. And I think that with the anti-intellectualism crisis, like this is a crisis going on in this country, we need to bring back tasteful bullying, especially on the left. Like, sorry, but you can't be nice to everyone when they are not being nice to you. We need to low-key get a little bit of a backbone and stick up for ourselves. And when it comes to anti-intellectualism in this country, say something. If you hear something, say something. I want to give you a joke, for example, that I heard recently from a person in my surroundings talking to a child. Child said, "Hello." That's how aliens say hello. This person comments back and says, "I thought aliens said hello. Hola." I said that was not okay. No. Because kids repeat shit like that. Kids take after adults, and we need to think about this when we are saying things in public. For example, the R word, the F word, the N word, saying racist ass shit. If you are saying shit around kids, they pick up on that and they will listen. Not so much adults, but like there is time and place for saying shit. And if you're going to say that shit around me, you better be ready for a rebuttal. Just saying. I will be the woke best friend. I don't give a fuck. I will cause havoc. I will say something. And I think that if we can work up to saying something, if we can shame people for like genuinely, I'm not talking like, you're stupid, why do you believe that? But question them. Like, I had someone tell me that I had a conversation with a Trumpy about trans people, and he goes, I'm sick and tired of them doing to our kids in school. And I said, where is this happening? Genuinely show me an article, show me something where they are forcing kids in schools to transition. Can't do it. Can't even give me an example of how they would do so. And if you just keep questioning, if you make someone feel stupid for having a bad take, in my opinion, that's okay. If you bring a little bit of shame into someone's life for having a genuinely problematic take, that's okay. If you are not bullying them on their appearance and the way that they look and the way that they like maybe talk, or if they have like something mentally wrong with, like, bullying in that aspect of physical characteristics, in my opinion, is like, it's just like, why are we choosing to spend our time doing this? But if someone says some stupid ass shit, I will make you feel stupid for saying that stupid ass shit. Don't do that around me. It's not a flex to say you haven't read a book in 10 years. That is not like cool to say. It's not cool to like think being stupid is awesome. Like, saying you're a conspiracy theorist should not be an applauded thing. Like, believing in conspiracies, like I said, I don't think is always problematic, because I personally like to indulge in a conspiracy theory now and again. And I think they're fun, and I think that they can be an interesting just like rabbit hole to go down. But when you take shit so seriously and you make that your personality in life and start spreading it onto other people without having any factual based evidence to back this up, facts don't care about your feelings, and I will call you out for that shit. Straight up. And that is a way that I think that we can approach into anti-intellectualism in our country on an individual scale. I think that everyone could get better about saying shit when they see problematic ass shit happening, and not just the bystander effect, which tends to happen often, and just standing around and thinking someone else will say something, so I'm not going to say anything. And I've perpetuated it before my existence. I have done this often. I've been too scared to speak up for shit. But you have to understand that, like, the more we let shit slide, or the more, like, indirect something is, where it's not really necessarily making fun of someone or, like, directly impacting someone, but an indirect thing we need to be better at calling out, because that's, like, the slippery slope of the red pill pipeline. You think a joke is funny about immigrants, and then you go down the red pill pipeline of comedy, and then approach at immigrants are awful people. Like, the pipeline is so easy and so fast, and I think that if you can show shame to people, it will get them out of it. I don't think that shame drives people into a corner. I think that we have made people believe that shame drives people into a corner, but it's ego that drives people into a corner. Being humbled will radicalize you at the end of the day, and I don't know who said otherwise. And I do think that sometimes being rejected or whatever can send people down a pipeline for sure. But that's not the average. I don't think so. Like, I really don't think that is average. I think that is an exception, not the rule. And most people are the rule, not the exception. That's all I really had to talk about today. I was just watching a video on this doctor talking about shit, and I think about my childhood, like, when I think about the way that I choose to view things and the way that I was raised was just so questioning. Like, I just was a questioning child turned into questioning adult. I never lost that aspect of me, and I think it's because of the occupation my father is in, like, him working in a medical field. Like, I'm able to ask questions that get answered right away, rather than, like, me having to do my own research for those questions. So I understand that I was bred into an environment where it was easier for me to be skeptical of stuff, because my dad forced me to be skeptical of stuff by actually having fact-based knowledge backing up the skepticism. So yeah, that's just kind of my opinions and thoughts on this all, and I wanted to talk about it with you and get your guys' opinions and thoughts, because personally I just think that we can wait for the system to get fixed, or we can start making individual changes ourselves. Bully people. Not bully, but, like, make people feel stupid for saying stupid shit. Point blank! Fight fire with fire. In this situation, fire with fire will work. If you tell people shut the fuck up, they'll shut the fuck up sometimes. Sometimes they don't, but that's the exception, not the rule. All right, peace, love, and happiness. Talk to you guys later. Bye.